Hey everyone, checking in to do a quick SGC return. Submitted 40 cards only a couple weeks ago. Came back pretty quick, within, I'm going to say less than 3 weeks, from the time I shipped them out to the time they got back. So good return, good turnaround time. This is all vintage baseball and football. One more modern, 90s Jeter rookie, Topps Gold, but besides that, just a whole bunch of 40s and 50s, 60s baseball and some football. So pretty good batch of cards. Wanted to open them. I have seen the grades, but I've not opened the cards yet. So it'll be my first time actually getting my look at the slabs. Gonna see a lot of Mays, some Mantles, a couple Hank Aaron's. So good batch. Probably 6,000 to 7,000 in value when all said and done. This was on the $30 service, so all in with shipping and grading fees, I probably paid right around $1,300 for all the grading on these ones. So some of these will be for sale, some I may keep for a little while, just depending on what the market does. But obviously, feel free to reach out if you guys are interested in any of these. Probably be putting them on eBay or Instagram or Facebook somewhere, and also we'll have these at shows. So let's get into this. You see the first one here was packaged separately, so we'll go through this one first. This was 55 Red Man Willie Mays that I picked up raw and sent in to get graded. It not in great condition, but the cool thing about this one is it does have the tab still on it. So if you guys know about the Red Man cards, they're pretty rare this card to have a tab. Got a 2. There's a crease right through the middle of the card. So right around, you kind of see on Willie's eye line, goes right through, but I thought it presented well. Knew it was going to get a lower grade, but again, because it has the tab, it looks good. You can hardly see the crease just holding it. Wanted to get it slabbed up. So overall, pleased with how this looks. It looks really cool. We'll probably, I don't know, we'll see about this one. See whether I keep it or I sell it. I guess for the right price it's for sale, but I like this card. So I'm gonna put this one back here. It's a unique card. You don't see many of these. Kind of tough to find. Probably worth a couple $100 in that condition. So let's get into opening a couple of these boxes here. Oh, there goes Willie. Boxes are too heavy for this table in one. Alright, so we got a nice stack here we'll start with. Oh, I forgot there's actually, I see the top one here, there's actually a couple vintage basketball in here as well. I think a Wilt Chamberlain. And I see a Jerry West here. He's from the 70s, early 70s. That I sent off as well with this group. I was holding these for PSA because PSA didn't open. I eventually just decided to send them to SGC. Just to get them, in something. I was holding them all raw, but the time didn't come, so. All right, so first here we got a Jerry West. This is a 1971-72 Topps SGC 3. Again, this card looks a lot better than that, but there's just some, I think there's a small crease in this one. Kind of tough to see. But card looks really good, so I didn't mind getting it graded. Can't really see the crease. I thought there was a problem with this one, though. The corners are kind of soft. Maybe some surface wear, but overall, looks good. Next here, you got the Wilt Chamberlain. 72-73, 5.5. Thought this maybe I'll get a 6 or a 7. It's a little off center, obviously, but card looks clean. Still a nice card. So that's that one. Next here, 58 Ernie Banks PSA 3. Just corners and edges a little rough, a little off center, obviously. Nice card though. Got a 57 Topps Koufax. This one has some surface stuff on it. And just in general, you know, these cards are just old and a little beat up, but didn't want to leave them raw. So it's still value having this graded as a 2.5 even. Next here, we got a 57 Willie Mays 1.5. Again, this was more about getting it authenticated than getting a high grade. You can see it's pretty beat up. Knew it was going to get a low grade. But for 30 bucks, wanted to get a slab. Got another Willie Mays coming up here. This is All-Star. Way off center. 2, again, knew this was going to be a low grade. But, cool card. See another one of these that did a little better. I think it must be this one. Yep. Got a 5 on this one. See, it's almost dead centered. Great centering on this one. Just corners. Corners are beat up. A little bit of surface wear. But happy with the grade on this one. A little bit of wax there in the back. Next card. It's a 66 Mantle. PSA 4. Looks good. Off center. Getting these corners beat up. Way off center in the back. It's a white back. But pleased with that one. You got another Mantle here. It's a 57. See the surface on this one, you could tell is surface is not very good. Off-centered. Corners are a little soft. But this card in a 3, whether it be PSA or SGC, I know they don't show the same value. I consider them to be pretty close. I think this was up to about $1,000 at one point. Now it's probably down in the $500-600 range, somewhere like that. But good card. Another Willie Mays, 58, 2.5. Again, some of these are just good to get them in a slab to preserve them. So you got rounded corners, off center. Another Mays. This is a big one here. I was hoping this would get a 7, but it pulled a 6. See, the print is slightly off. You can see some of the pink above. That probably hurt the grade. And the corners on the back are a lot softer than on the front. And the surface on this is clean. I mean, it looked new when I pulled it, when I sent it in. But you can see the corners are just a little soft in the back. You can see the dings there. I was worried that may hurt it. But even at a 6, this card's, I mean, anywhere from probably 1,300 to 1,800 right now. If you look at recent comps, only PSA comps available. No SGC examples have sold in this high of a grade. So happy to get this one back. Again, I was going to wait and send this to PSA, but for 30 bucks versus a couple hundred, just wanted to get it in. I could always resub this if I think it might get a 7, but I think it's a pretty fair grade. This is the biggest one of the bunch though, SGC 6. Got a Bob Feller, 53 Topps, SGC 3, just off-centered, rounded corners, you know. See on the back, got some wear, but 53, it's a cool card. It's Joe Adcock. I sent this in because I thought it would get a high grade. It's not really a valuable card. I thought this had a chance to get maybe a 6. Came back a 4.5. I think the corner's just a little too rounded. It looked really nice when I looked at it. And anytime you get a card this old, looks good. It just makes sense to, you know, try to get a high grade. I think you see the wax stain there in the back probably really hurt it. The corners aren't perfect, but the surface was great. Centering's good. So even at that, you know, it's still a $30 or $40 card. Just kind of made my money back. This is a Bill Buckner rookie, 71 Topps, 7.5. Again, sent this in because it was a high grade. So even a 7.5 in this card is pretty rare because of the black borders. So I'm pleased how that came back. You know, I would have loved an 8, but 7.5 I think is probably pretty fair. There's some whitening around the corners. Obviously, Buckner, famous for the missed ground ball in the World Series. But, cool card. Got a Steve Garvey, 1971, SGC 4. This one's pretty severely miscut on that right side. Some rounding of the corners. But it's an early Garvey, so I wanted to get it slabbed. Still some value here. Willie McCovey, big Hall of Famer. Same thing here. Sent this in 71 tops in a lower grade. It's not really a valuable card, but in a high grade, has some value. So for this to come back at 7, it does have some value just because of the higher grade in the early 70s. Nice card, though. It's a George Foster rookie. Came back in 8. So this card's actually fairly valuable in this high of a grade. Pretty rare. I looked at the pop count. I think I wrote it down here somewhere. But this is a pretty low pop card in this high of a grade. It's for SGC, it's a pop 13, only 5 higher. And actually, the Buckner rookie is a pop 2, only 3 higher. So these cards, this 71 set is very tough to grade because the black borders. So these cards are relatively rare. I mean, actually very rare in this high of a grade. So happy to get the grades back that I did on these. They're pretty cool cards. And even the Bowman color I showed you guys with Joe Adcock is probably because it's just a lesser known player. There's only, I think there's only 32 higher on this one. It's a pop 1, 32 higher. So just not that many of them out there. We'll keep going here. Got a 69 Clemente. Pirates fan. I love Clemente. Dad loved Clemente growing up as well, so I followed him the whole way. It's a nice card. SGC 5. Got another Clemente here. It's a 66, 4.5. Corners and edges just a little too rough on this one to get a 5. Still a nice card. We got a pretty bad scratch in the case of this one. Let's see if I can get that off. You guys saw me pull this out of the pack, so it wasn't like that when I did it, but it's pretty unfortunate the case is that scratched. Nice card. Another Clemente. This is 68. Just really off-centered. Still a nice card though, in good condition, just way off-center. Pretty much any Clemente, Mays, Aaron, Mantle, any of those major players I get, I would send in if I thought I was going to get 3 or higher, 2 or 3 or higher, just to get them slabbed up. Another Mantle here, 1970, SGC 4. It's got a little mark in the top right that probably really hurt the grade, because I think otherwise it probably would have been a 5 or a 6 based on how it looks. Edges aren't perfect, but it looks pretty good for a grade of a 4. The top left corner's a little bit soft. Kind of hard to see, but it's a little soft. Nice card though. And lastly, out of this first pack is a Bill Mazeroski, Pirates Hall of Famer, 1957 SGC 4. Nice card. So overall, pretty pleased with those. So we can put the other big Mays card on a stand. Display that one. It's probably the most valuable card I own right now. This Mays card. in a 7, this card is worth, you know, probably 2,500 or so. It's even a bigger card, but just missed. Nice card though. Let's get into the second box here. Got some glare on Willie's head. There we go. I've been picking up a lot of Willie Mays when I see him. I think he's somewhat undervalued. Obviously still alive at his age. In his 90s. I think people, I don't know if they're taking that for granted or what, but I think his values will go up over time. So we'll see. Another big batch here. I know we're already 16 minutes into this video. I knew it was going to be a long one. A lot of cards returned. But I wanted to take you guys through these because it's the biggest order I've gotten back ever. I have a couple big orders out there, so I haven't gotten back, but this one's the bigger one I've gotten back. So first here we got a Jeter. This is the top gold I was telling you guys about, 8.5. This car was going for big money a couple months ago, but it's come down a little bit. This has a little mark on the left side. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there's a little mark. It's a print line or something. I wasn't sure how it was going to impact it. It is off center, but overall looks, I mean, the corners are sharp. I think the combination of this little mark and it being a little off center is what drove the 8.5. But even at 8.5, this card's still a, you know, $100 card, $150 card, and when it was up there more. So it's a nice card. This is a card I just picked up at a card show. A guy was coming around, had this raw. I think I got it for like 50 bucks. I was a little concerned because I'm not as familiar with these leaf sets, and you see the print mark, or the mark here, the white mark right beside his last name. Looked at this really closely. I wasn't sure if it was authentic or not, but I, you know, after looking at it, I made the guy an offer. He told me he wanted 50 bucks for it. I said, sure, I'll take a chance at 50 bucks. Came back at 4.5, which is great. That's higher than I thought it would get, just based on, you know, the mark here, and see the print's a little off. You can see how it doesn't line up correctly. Got a dot in the back there as well. But 4.5, it's probably a $300 card at that grade. Pretty low pop. I think it's might be 3 in this grade and like 50 or 60 higher in SGC. So I was happy to get that. Picked this up from the same guy for like 10 or 15 bucks. Tommy Henrik, 1941 play ball. It's a cool card. Got a 3. Just a couple of these next ones I picked up at some auctions. She's got a 1950 Bob Feller. 3 actually seems like a pretty low grade for this card. I thought I might get a 4. The print's pretty bad though. It's really out of focus. The print is kind of tough to see in this video, but print is not great. Corner's a little soft. But nice early filler there. Same way here, early Warren Spawn. Got SGC 4, 1950 Bowman. I paid quite a bit for these cards raw. I don't know what, I think I wrote down here what they're worth. Comps are around 150 to 200 on these, both the Spawn and the Feller. So I won't make a ton of money on these with the grading fees, but again, I wanted to get them slabbed up. Cool early cards, Hall of Famers. Got a Casey Stengel here. I sent this one, he's a Hall of Fame coach. Sent him to get, you know, I thought it would be a pretty good grade. Hoping for a 6, but it got a 5. Some marks, some red marks here on it. Just print defects, and there's one by his head there as well. But it's a nice card. Looks cool. Got a 5. Roy Campanella. 55 Bowman, got a 4. These cards look like they're all way off center, but that's just the way some of these are cut. The card looked really clean outside of it being off center. So I knew it was a little off top to bottom, obviously, but, you know, a little off left to right as well. Got a 4. I was hoping for a little bit higher than a 4 on this. It's worth about, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks in a 4. But collectible, very collectible player, obviously. Nice card. You got a Rival Fence Busters with Mays and Duke Snyder. Got a 4. Getting off center. But a nice card. 2 Hall of Famers there. Off center on the back as well. Next, we got another early Warren Spawn here. It's the black and white Bowman, 1948. Got a 3. So, same set, 48 Bowman with a Ralph Kiner. Got a 2. Sounds like a scratch. The surface on this is just pretty rough. You can see kind of the spots all over it, just from being out and, you know, aging. But early Kiner here, wanted to get it slabbed up. Got a mark here on the back as well. This card is still valuable even in low grade, though. You don't see many of them. I think the Spawn's probably about a $300 card. The Kiner maybe 100 to 150, something like that. Got a Hank Aaron All-Star 58, 4.5. You see the print dots all over this one. But it's a nice card. Next here we got a Johnny Unitas. 58, got a 5. This is, I think, a pretty, I don't know how the population was on this one, but I thought it looked really good. I think it's just a little off center. Surface is great. Back's really bright. There's a really clean card there. It's probably worth about 150 in a SGC 5, something like that. Another Ralph Kiner. As you can tell, I'm a Pirates fan. I've created a bunch of Kiners here. 53 Bowman color. Thought this had a chance to get a little higher grade than it did. Nice card. Again, off-centered, but the surface on it is really clean for its age. Just, you know, what, almost miscut. That's how off-center it is. So overall, 4 is not too bad. The Clemente, got a 3. Looks like some of the others off-centered, you know, almost miscut. Edges are really tough on these wood border cards. You can see every little flaw. But I'm happy with the 3 on a 62 there. Looks good. Another Clemente here. 65. Got good centering on this one. Great color. Edges are just kind of beat up. Edges and corners are a little tough on this one. I think 4.5 is a fair grade here. Back's got some wear too. You can see a lot of lightening around the edges. A little more miscut on the back too. So happy with the 4.5 on that. Another Unitas. This is a 68. This one, the centering just crushed this card. If you look at the corners and edges, this card is sharp. It looks really good. Besides that centering, you know, it's a really clean card. Surface is nearly perfect. There's no blemishes. Corners are great. Just miscut. You can see the back there is missing part of the card even. But I slabbed it up. It's not really too valuable in this grade. It might be worth, you know, 40, 50 bucks, but didn't want the surface getting ruined. Still valuable to a Unitas fan, even though it's miscut. And last but not least, last one from this submission. See right away there, got some wear on the back of that card, which impacted the grade. But got a 72 Nolan Ryan tops. So if you look at the rest of the card, you probably think it's a 5. You know, pretty good corners, a little off center, obviously. So I think I would have expected a 5 had it not been for that wear on the back here, based on the centering. The centering on the back's perfect. A little off, but you know, for this age. So SGC 4, high number tops on the Nolan Ryan. Probably a $50 card, something like that. So that's it. A lot of cool vintage cards that came back. It's kind of the space I play in. It's gonna hold these, like I said, for PSA, but just the price is going up and the weight. I wanted to get them in. Really happy with the way this turned out. This card here is, even though the low grade, because of the crease, you can't really see on camera. The crease goes right across here. Just a very light crease. You can kind of see a little bit of it right here. But thought this was a really cool card. It's even got a little piece missing out of it up here as well. So I didn't expect a high grade, but really like that card, the way it looks in the bigger slab. So that's it. You guys like this video, give it a like, give me a subscribe. Be doing some more openings and box breaks and different things. So check out my eBay store, Medford Collectibles. Follow me on Instagram, Medford Collectibles. Also on Facebook, same Medford Collectibles. If you guys are interested in these cards, reach out, shoot me a message. Who knows how long it can take me to get these posted, but they'll all be for sale at some point. So give me a shout on here if you wanna talk about any of them. Thanks. I'll talk to you guys later.